Hi, welcome to Some of Your Parts podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Betsy Greenleaf, premier pelvic health expert and women's wellness warrior. Join me as we discuss women's wellness topics and discuss tips and tricks with top elite health experts, and where you'll discover that you're greater than the sum of your parts. On today's show, we'll have Megan Bendtzen, the founder of Lifebacon. As a leadership trainer, motivational speaker, and life coach, Megan Bendtzen has been dubbed the PhD Doctor of Fun, and that's fun with a PH. As the founder and CEO of Lifebacon, her mission is to help people find the sizzle and get more out of life. Combined with her passion and ability to engage people with fun activities and interactive games, she has created unique and memorable tools and experiences for people to live into their purpose. Fun is a serious business and an absolutely essential part of personal growth. Megan has studied leadership, communication, personal growth, and relationship for over 18 years. She's worked with thousands of people and delivered hundreds of impactful seminars on a variety of related topics. Megan currently resides in Southern California, but got her degree from the University of Oregon, where she lived for 18 years, calling it her second home. Today, we'll be talking with Megan Bendtzen of Lifebacon. Thank you so much, Megan, for being with us.
Oh, Betsy, thank you for having me.
Now, I love the name of your company, Lifebacon. So, can you explain what is Lifebacon?
Yes. Yeah, we had a lot of fun coming up with that name. Basically, when you add bacon to something, you kind of just took it to the next level, made it better. And so we're all about taking your life to the next level and making life better.
How did you get started with this?
Oh, geez. Well, the last company that I was with, which I worked there for 14 years, was a pharmaceutical company in the animal health industry. And one of the things that we had to do was train our vet hospitals on our products. And so I was trying to come up with some fun ways to get people engaged and to make my trainings memorable. And then also to get my foot in the door, because, once I did a product training, I couldn't do the same one again. And so in order to, build the relationship and to be invited back, I came up with a whole nother set of trainings that dealt with things like customer service, conflict resolution, communication, leadership. And when I started building this library of trainings, it was all about personal growth and personal development. I mean, I just came alive. And so I realized that was what I was meant to do.
And then what do you do with Lifebacon? How do you help your clients?
Well, I help them find their sizzle.
I love it.
And that's their passion, whatever it is that lights you up. Because the problem is that, I really believe that people are meant to live an extraordinary life. But the problem is that most people don't know what they want, or they don't know how to get it, or they're too afraid and they can't stay committed to it. So that's what we do. Help people stay committed to chasing after their dream.
Now, I know you were talking a little bit, what is life atrophy?
Oh, life atrophy is something that I suffered for many.
I think I have too.
And I think actually there's a second pandemic going on in the world right now. And I think it's called life atrophy. And it's this feeling of you're just on the sidelines and life is passing you by and you're not fully participating. You're not living the life that you're meant to live, and feeling stuck and having regret. And that to me that was, when you kind of wake up and realize you're not getting any younger and that you only get one life, you got to make some changes.
And I think it's so important not to hit rock bottom before you're recognize that you have life atrophy and make some changes. I think like a lot of people, that's where they go. They just are so used to being in their daily grind and just kind of following their own path. And interesting enough, so talk about life atrophy. You were working for this pharmaceutical business, right? Right before
Yes.
coronavirus. And
Yes.
what did you do?
I know this was my life-changing moment because I actually had the good fortune to be able to start my company on the side. You know, it was kind of moonlighting, but my company was okay with that because I was bringing a lot of value to our customers, you know, within the vet industry. But it was something that I loved so much that I started sort of doing it on the side. And I tried that for almost a year before I realized I can't do both, you know, and I had to choose. And it was that moment when I realized that I had to make a choice. Was probably one of the scariest decisions I've ever made. But once I did, I think I was too focused on everything that I had to lose rather than everything that I had to gain.
Yeah.
And once I made that switch in my thinking and really saw where I wanted to go and what I wanted to do with Lifebacon, it was the easiest decision ever.
And you did this all during like the initial time of coronavirus too. Like that's probably the scariest time to make a change.
Yeah, it was May. It was May 2020, May of this year. And yeah, that was, you know, we were a few months into it at that point, and there's still a lot of uncertainty as to where the end was and what was going to happen in the world of business. But you know, it couldn't have been more perfect.
You know, I have to agree. Like I was thinking about back to the life atrophy, and you know, I went into medicine because I wanted to help people, and I found that you went like as I went through my training and I came out and I worked for big hospitals, I found that when you work for a big hospital, a big corporation, that medicine was a business and it wasn't necessarily geared to helping people. And I kind of got stuck in this factory assembly line because they were always telling me, see more patients, spend less time, see more patients, spend less time. And I was just absolutely miserable, unfulfilled, but too chicken to make any kind of changes until I think life kind of caught up to me, and the changes were made for me, and that I had a neck injury that led me to have neck surgery. And then all of a sudden, you know, I like was done with that job, and it was scary. But when you're thinking about with Lifebacon is that, boy, people don't have to wait and like maybe until your health gives out or something else hits rock bottom to make those changes. That they can be like, you know what, I don't like what I'm doing. Let's move on and let's follow some steps that Megan has taught me, right?
And
So
you know what's so true about that, Betsy, because it seems like when people finally wake up, you know, you hear so many stories of these very successful people, and the question is always asked, what was that moment for you? And it's usually always some horrible thing, you know, they lost a job, they were injured, you know, whatever happened, it was devastating, but they rose up out of the ashes. And yeah, we don't need to wait for some devastation in order to grab hold. So that I think is probably the toughest thing, because to take a purposeful and willful step forward and out of your comfort zone is scary. It's scary for a lot of people. So that's another, you know, thing with Lifebacon is we try to make that step fun and easy.
oh, you know, before we get on to some steps, I forgot to announce that you refer to yourself as you have a PhD in fun. What's the
Yeah.
Lifebacon PhD?
Right. Yeah. I'm not a real doctor, but I was dubbed PhD, Doctor of Fun, as in PHUN. So, and that was from my previous job, because I worked in the health industry, and so it's kind of a little funny story, because I was invited to speak at one of the chapter meetings for the Southern California Veterinary Medical Association, and usually they only have veterinary speakers that are all doctors. So they kind of coined that little phrase and it just stuck because all of my trainings, like I said, I try to make things fun and engaging. And so it was perfect.
I love it. I love it. So if someone's at the point where they're just like, you know what, like things are not just going the way I want, or there's got to be more, or I just feel like I'm not living up to my potential, what steps can somebody take, or what kind of tips do you have for them?
Well, I call it the 5 steps to bacon. And actually, it's something that I'm doing a challenge coming up here. And so it'll give people a real taste of what the 5 steps to bacon are. But bacon is actually an acronym. BACON stands for brainstorm, accountability, committed action, overjoyed, and noble acts. And so while of course there's a much deeper dive into each of those steps, essentially it's becoming crystal clear about what you want out of life, and then having the courage and the belief and the commitment to keep taking steps forward with joy and with gratitude, so that you have a more satisfying relationships, you feel better about yourself. You know, that's how you bring home the bacon.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about the bacon. You have so many like little sayings that you can use. I like
Oh my gosh.
bring the sizzle.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun with the name.
Oh, and even if you're vegetarian, you can still
I know. I was just
you
going
can
to
still
say,
enjoy life bacon.
I don't actually eat very much bacon at all. And yeah, it's just a metaphor because, you know, I appreciate it. You know, even though I don't eat a lot of bacon, I do appreciate the fact that it is good.
Have you had any kind of people that you've looked up to that have kind of helped you with your vision of your business, or in the field of self-development?
Oh, yes. Many people. I was fortunate to Anthony Trucks. I don't know if you've heard of Anthony Trucks. He's a powerhouse motivational speaker, a former athlete. And that's how I know him, actually, because my husband is in that business working with athletes. And so this is a friend of his. And I got to spend an hour on the phone with him in a private coaching call. And that phone call is sort of what launched me into this whole path. He recommended a book to me called The Motivation Manifesto by Brendan Burchard.
Oh,
Have you heard of that book?
yes, and I have actually met him. He's been at the conferences that I attend.
You have?
Actually,
Gosh.
here's a funny story. The conference that I go to every year, his mom goes to, and his mom is my dance partner. Every time we have, like, they'll have this big dance party every time. She is an amazing person. Like, you can see where Brendan gets his just his lust for life. It's all from his mom. I mean, I don't even know how old she is, but let me tell you, she can dance me under the table. She dances me into the ground. So yeah, she's a firecracker.
That is a hoot. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and his philosophy and the way of thinking and approaching life, I'm a huge fan of his. And, you know, again, he's Anthony Trucks, Brendan Burchard is his personal coach. And so
Nice.
that's how that all, and it just, yeah, that book kind of lit my fire for sure. Got me moving.
Yeah, definitely. I'm trying to think. I read another one of his books too that was really good. And whatever the last one he just put out was really good too.
Yes,
So,
I know which one you're talking about because I have it.
I can see the cover. It's like
I
gray
know.
and it's got big letters on it, but
Yep.
I'm just blanking out on it. So
Yeah, he's got some great books. And Jim Quick is another one, Limitless. I don't know if you've ever read that book.
Oh no, I haven't.
Anything about him, but his whole his whole message is all about your brain and reprogramming your thinking. And it's so incredible. And it's something I've become so hyper aware of, because what you say to yourself and the beliefs that you have can be the difference for you between success and failure.
Oh yeah.
And it's all just right here.
It's really amazing the power of our brains and how, you know, how it interacts with our bodies too, because there's an interesting thing, they say, sometimes fake it till you make it. Like if you're unhappy, force yourself to smile, because the act of smiling triggers your body to go, oh, wait a minute, my face is in this position of a smile, so I must be happy. And it will trigger your brain to start making happy hormones.
I love that you're saying that. I've been reading about that. That is so true. I love that they're doing more and more studies about the impact of happiness and laughter and joy on life, because I truly, truly believe that, it's so important. And there was another study that showed laughter or joy or acts of gratitude will actually reduce your cortisol levels by 23%. That's significant.
It's
so
amazing.
just by adding some joy to your daily routine.
It's funny because Botox, years ago, they tried to actually get approved. They never got approved, but they tried to get approved for treatment of depression. And you're like, how does Botox treat depression?
Yeah.
Well, they found out incidentally that people that were getting it cosmetically, because they couldn't frown. It goes through because they couldn't frown, were actually reporting feeling happier. And I said, well, that's why I said it's a much cheaper way just to force yourself to smile than to have your face injected with Botox. But it was funny that they made that connection, but they never got approved for it. But it was so interesting that they actually tried to. So
that is hilarious. Yeah, it's a lot easier just to do it yourself.
What can people expect from this challenge that you're doing? Like where's the challenge? First of all, where can they find it?
Lifebacon.com.
Okay.
Go to lifebacon.com. I have a link right there. First thing you see, it takes you to lifebacon.com/challenge, which if you were so inclined to add the /challenge, it'll take you straight to the entire information page, and we'll tell you all about what you can expect in the challenge. It starts October 12th. It's 5 days, although there's going to be some bonus time as well on there. But yeah, as I've been putting this together, I'm so excited because, well, I love games and prizes and I love stuff like that. So, because I think that makes it more fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm giving away so many prizes and so many bonuses, and it's only $55 right now to join. So it's very affordable, and I'm giving away probably $7,500 worth of cash and prizes away. So, but besides all of the prizes, what you get out of it as a person, we're going to go through the 5 steps to bacon. You're going to take a deeper dive. So if there's something that you've been wanting or putting off, whether it's trying to lose the 30 pounds, or you've always wanted to write a book, or you've always wanted to start a podcast, or, quit your job, or whatever it is that is this dream of yours that you've had, that for some reason you keep getting distracted from it or putting it off, or you're just too scared, you've got to join this challenge. It's going to be a great community of people that will support you. I've got some really fun and great exercises that will help you break through those fears and those barriers and things that have been stopping you. So
that's so exciting.
Yeah.
How, sometimes I'm excited. I actually am going to check your thing out, but what kind of time commitment is it?
Yeah. So each day there is a live Zoom call, and there's going to be a lesson. So I'm going to teach about each letter in the 5 steps to bacon. And the lesson is not long. It's probably about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. I will stick around for some Q&A afterwards. And then there will be a homework assignment, which I don't like to use the word homework because that sounds like it's not fun. But the homework assignments, I'm going to call them your mission. So it's your mission for the day, and it's going to help you put that, whatever that lesson is, into action, which is going to bring you results in your life. So by the end of the challenge, you will have several wins in your life. So between the 30 to 40 minute lesson and the time it takes for you to do your homework, and then of course engaging with the group, maybe an hour or two a day for the 5 days.
Which, you and I were just in this group recently,
Yep.
and I was shocked to find out the number of hours that people spend watching TV. Like they said before coronavirus, people spend 5 hours a day watching TV. After coronavirus, or since coronavirus and quarantine, 7 hours a day.
Oh my gosh, that's like a full day's work.
I know. So I don't know where people are finding this time. I wish I could find 5 to 7 hours extra in my day, but
No kidding.
So doing your course is nothing, and taking that time is to change your life, and to change your life for better. It's invaluable.
Yeah. And, and truthfully, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So of course that's the minimum, just attending the class. And if the time doesn't work for you, it's going to be recorded so you can catch the replay. But as you and I know, in the challenge that we had just participated in, the real juice is in the networking of the community. And a lot of those homework assignments are so empowering, and just, we were doing things we didn't think we were capable of. And that's what it's all about. And being able to do something like that in a safe community of people where everyone's going through it together. So that's what makes it fun. And that's what gets people results.
That is awesome. So in addition to your challenge that's coming up, what else does Lifebacon do?
Well, I offer, actually, there's a much bigger program if people want, because accountability is really tough for people. And so if you're trying to accomplish a big dream, and you want someone to kind of hold your hand along the way, I have a 90-day program that I offer as well. I also offer one-on-one private coaching. And then I do corporate trainings, because that's sort of where I started, with my job, was training teams in the corporate business world. So all of that is on lifebacon.com if you're curious about, some of the things that we do. But one of my favorite things is just putting out good, positive, happy stuff. And so if you follow Lifebacon on social media, and if you don't already, please do. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I just got onto TikTok. I have no idea.
You braved the TikTok.
On TikTok. I have no clue, but I'm going to give that one a shot. And of course, LinkedIn and YouTube. But I'm constantly, every day, putting out free content. And so whether it's, these are my quick 3 tips on how to boost your confidence, or these are my tips on how to avoid procrastination, or just some funny little inspiring quote. I love just putting like the world needs more positive stuff out there.
Oh, so sure. It also goes back to how it affects your brain. The more like positive things you say about yourself, more positive things you expose yourself to,
yes,
the better you're going to do, and the better person you can become.
Exactly. You are what you think, or wait, there's a phrase by Norman Vincent Peale. How does it go? Do you know what I'm talking about? You are what you think. You're not what you think you are, but what you think you are. Or something like that. Basically, your thoughts, whatever consumes you is what you are. So, and what you put out to the world. So, yeah, there's so much negativity and hatred and just division right now. So I really think that the world needs some positivity, and, just people need to tap into that sizzle, whatever it is that lights them up.
Yeah, that is awesome. Is there anything that I did not ask you that you would like us to know?
Oh, geez. You know what? Actually, I would love to offer this to your viewers if they're interested. I just wrote my first little ebook. It's called the Lifebacon Playbook, and it's let's get serious about having fun, because it goes right into everything that we've just been talking about, that you have to have joy in your life. And so it's free. It's my gift to your viewers, and I can give you the link, and yeah, they can download their free copy. And it's a quick, probably 20-minute read, but
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Megan, for being with us today.
oh, thank you, Betsy. I love your show, and I thank you so much. And congratulations to you for stepping out and following your dream.
I know. I wish I had found you sooner, but I think I could use a little more life bacon and sizzle in my life too, so I'm going to be checking it out.
It's never too late.
All right. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
Today's episode was brought to you by the Pelvic Floor Store, your source for personal health. You can find us at www.pelvicfloorstore.com. For more information on today's episode and the women's wellness, please go to drbetsygreenleaf.com.